he killed his mother. He went to jail. He served his time, got out, had his records purged. He lives in Minnesota. In Minnesota, you have to go to the police station and get a gun permit. So he went to the police station, reversed his first and middle names, and applied for a gun permit, and he got it. Now, I don't know about this whole gun control thing. I mean, I don't want my rights taken away. But really, what do you think about that?
I'm glad you clarified Minnesota. I lived in Minnesota for a brief period of time. That's why, okay.
Are you going to start chasing rabbits?
No, but I did have all of the things I did wrong expunged. I think that we've gotten entirely too focused on the type of weapon and the Second Amendment that we're missing some crucial pieces to this that are important. Like, there are some background checks that we have in place. Obviously, this one didn't work. So we might
did they not ask him for his driver's license?
Yes. So some of the things that we've gotten in place.
Did they not have a computer? Did they not see that his date of birth matched? Or his social security number was the same?
Some of the places are
I mean,
rural.
was there some dodo back there going, oh, look, there's a Henry James so-and-so, and here's a James Henry, and everything the same, but let's give him a gun permit so he can go out and shoot somebody else. He killed his mother.
Well, and then when you back up, you've got him being able to go get the gun permit, but how did he get his record expunged? I mean, there's so many things wrong with that, but that's what I mean about the details that are beyond just, I want my assault rifle or my handgun or whatever it is, my BB gun, my 30-06, my 72-29, whatever, fine. But we've got some issues here that people are not looking at.
You think?
Oh, yeah. I want to start with something I have thought of that is very important to me. I know. It scares me too.
When you think?
I do. It's painful. All right, so we touched on...
Do you scare people you work with? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I do. Do you know I actually had to... This is such an aside. I had to go see Kenny Gaskin. Apparently, I've been frowning so much that I have injured the muscles in my face, and I'm having cramping. It's terrible.
I've never heard of that before. And I trust Kenya. I mean, if you had said anybody else, I wouldn't have believed it, but, like, she's really good.
She's awesome. She is amazing. And she said, I said, what is causing this? She's killing me. I said, do I have a sinus infection? She said, no, you've been frowning too much and thinking. So, okay, here's the deal. It did make me laugh. Okay. I've decided what it is about Facebook. We talked about it, and I've boiled it down to this.
Okay.
Facebook offers a voice to everyone, even those people who do not know how to properly use it. What do you think, right? I think that's...
I know what you're referring to.
In general, yes, that and generally. People don't always
know what she's referring to.
Yes.
Don't sit over there in your wheelchair like you don't know what she's referring to.
I have no idea what she's referring to.
Yes, you do. We talked about it last night on the telephone.
Yes.
And you know what? You just go ahead with that discussion.
That was all I wanted to say.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to say. Okay.
Because we referenced that, for people who missed the last episode, we referenced about Facebook.
Yes.
And that's why you're bringing that up.
I am. But I think it's interesting. I think it provides, it's a communication that offers a wide audience for anyone who has a voice that may or may not know how to responsibly use it.
Or even to be grammatically correct.
I've given up on grammatical correctness on Facebook.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to have to do part of a show on the whole Facebook issue. Because remember we talked about how it is an addiction for some people. And it
Excuse
is.
me. Okay.
Other people think you're funny, and so do I. You go, because thank you. You don't have to, like, not get in the shot. You're letting us set up here and... Me either.
Me either. Let me get your notes. Okay.
Oh, I'm dropping my notes.
I would like to just touch briefly on how amazingly awesome Beyonce was at the Super Bowl. We can leave it at that, but she totally brought it, and I personally think that if you slam that performance, okay, the outfits were a little bit questionable for the age of the audience. However, other than that, I think that if you just want to slam it, that it indicates that you might be just pessimistic and kind of a hater.
She did announce she practiced for 5 months. That's a long time.
That is. 4 more months and she could have had a child.
Now she's going on world tour again. Did you hear that?
I did.
Yeah.
I would like to see it. I would pay to see it.
Do you think Jay-Z and Blue Ivy are going to go with her?
I think they're going to join up at certain points.
Who named
her child's name is Blue Ivy?
Is it Blue Ivy or Ivy Blue?
Blue Ivy.
I don't know. When Gwyneth Paltrow, I love Gwyneth Paltrow, but when she named her child Apple,
Is it a fruit or is it a
dangerous.
computer?
I don't. It just depends on the user.
Okay. You know, it wasn't so much what they wore, it was the angle of the camera, but I'm sure those were men.
Could be. Could be.
It was a little risque.
But the little face thing and the hair, I couldn't even believe it was a Super Bowl. It was a whole transformation.
It was good. And then she came out in the, you know, she was all covered up when she came out. Did you see that?
No.
Yes, when they brought her out on the field, she had a big black sheet over because they were like wanting it to be they didn't even want the people working there to see her before she got out on the field.
So is this how that went? Who do you think that person is in the golf cart under the black sheet?
No, they knew who it was.
Oh, they just didn't want her to see her outfit.
Yes, they wanted to see her. You know, it was her hair and everything was a big deal.
I tell you, I've got how it's going to go. If we sneak you in on a golf cart with a sheet over you, no one will know.
It was kind of a weird Michael Jackson kind of thing to do, really. That's exactly what I thought.
Maybe she'd hold Blue Ivy off the stage.
Is that your phone or mine?
It's not mine. I've turned mine off because I have a terrible addiction. Okay, Robyn Lea, hit me with something deep.
I do have a deep topic, but I just want to touch on this like you did on Beyonce. I saw in the newspaper the other day, no, it wasn't, it was online, and again, we know how accurate that is, although this is accurate, that Victoria's Secret, there was this woman and her daughter, do you know what I'm talking about?
I looked,
this woman who had breast cancer many years ago, and at that time, health insurance would not pay for reconstructive surgery. And so she and her daughter put up this petition online and got 18,000 people to sign it, and they submitted it to Victoria's Secret. And then the executives at Victoria's Secret invited these two ladies up to corporate headquarters, and here's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get Victoria's Secret to design and sell in their stores bras for women that have had mastectomies but haven't had reconstruction surgery. Which I thought was very interesting. Like, why has no one thought of that before now?
Right, that's so simple.
And there are millions of women that have had breast cancer and have had mastectomies and no reconstructive surgery.
I think that's amazing, and I am very pleased with, we need to put more and more attention on this. People have the little bracelets that say boobies, and some people think that's offensive, and I think that every bit of attention and awareness we can bring to breast cancer, we should. I'm glad people are getting involved, and I think that was great for Victoria's Secret to do that.
Me too. And so here's what I learned. I went in to read that article, and then of course started reading other stuff, and I read that now, you know, when we didn't know so much about this, they were just doing mastectomies on women. Now, actually what they have found is that in a lot of cases, the large percentage of cases, I don't know all the numbers, that a lumpectomy actually has more success rate than a mastectomy does.
Really? Why is
I don't know. We should go into the National Institutes of Health or Johns Hopkins or something like that to their breast cancer research and find out why, because it is interesting about why. I want to talk about the Alabama hostage situation because it ended. And it takes us back to that whole gun control issue because the guy got on the school bus, killed the school bus driver who was who literally gave his life to protect those children, just like the teachers did at Sandy Hook. And they took this kid, I'm just kind of giving the nutshell version, put him in a bunker with this guy, and then after how long did they hold them? 6 days?
6.5 days.
Until they stormed the bunker and shot the guy and killed him and rescued the kid whose birthday is this week. What's up with that, Linnie?
This is my problem with that story. I heard some news. I received a text or an email from CNN saying that the child was crying and asking for help for his parents. And I thought, I do not need to know that. No one needs to know that. I think we talked before about what is the problem. And so I've been thinking a lot about that. And there is this sort of societal problem, and it involves violence, it involves mental health, mental illness, and we contribute to it by first of all, providing an audience and a demand. Why do we need to know that this child was crying out? What good could that possibly do?
I don't know.
And it disturbs me, and we thrive on it. And I've been thinking about this whole problem, but I think that unfortunately they probably handled the situation as well as they could.
Yeah, I heard on the news this morning that they, somewhere not too far away from where this was occurring, they had set up a similar type bunker, and they were practicing how they were going to. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm troubled that there was a bunker
Do you know,
practice.
did y'all hear this? How far away was it? Like in the next field over, or?
Like 2 miles.
Yeah, not very far. Was it the FBI or the ATF or whatever? The FBI, they set up a simulated bunker that, you know, in the depth, and I don't know all the details. Anyway, they were over there practicing how they were going to rescue the kid. And I think ultimately, what they're reporting right now, ultimately they ended up doing what they had practiced, and they killed the guy. And well, they flashed this really loud sound that apparently disorients your brain. And then they went in, and they had to kill the guy, and they got the child.
I want to know more about this sound that disorients your brain. Why didn't they do that with David Koresh? Why did they play that horrible music over and over and over if they could have just flashed one sound and disoriented
Maybe they
his
didn't
brain?
know that then. That's been a while.
That's true. Do you think that giving these people media coverage increases the number of people who do things like this?
Okay, but how can we talk about that? Because that's what we're doing.
Well, we are excluded. But no, that's what we're not. You're right. You're right.